Hi everybody, I am the multifaceted mom. Welcome to my YouTube where I talk about everything motherhood, lifestyle, travel, pretty much everything under the sun when it comes to getting my life together and just doing mom shit. So I asked that question, who are you? Because that has been coming up a lot for me. Recently, I got out of a relationship where I had to separate the perception that somebody has of me versus the perception I have of myself. And I started to understand that I recreated myself within my last relationship because I needed to. It was things that I loved about myself. It was things that I did not like about myself that being a mom and being a wife brought out of me. So I made the decision to change certain things. So I wanted to know, where are you in your journey? Are you creating who you want to be? Are you discovering who you are? Are you, letting other people's perceptions of you define who you are? And that other people can mean, parents, how you grew up, teachers, what they always said about you. Who are you and how do you define that? So over the last, I want to say 6 years, really since I graduated college, I've been pretty much discovering and also recreating who I am. So there's a lot of things that I discovered from different chapters of my life. After I had a house fire back in 2017, who was I? After I graduated college, even taking it back, and was trying to get a job in LA, who was I? I had a defined personality and a description of a person who I was then, and now I'm an entirely different person. I'm a mom, and motherhood has brought so many amazing qualities out, and so it's also brought some negative qualities out. And I had to really look at myself and say, okay, these qualities may come from my upbringing. These qualities may come from different experiences I had in life, but that doesn't mean that I have to stick with those different things. I can embrace the fact that I'm impulsive, which I am. I am impulsive. I love being impulsive. Some of my best decisions have come from just saying, fuck it, just do it. If you know me personally, that is literally my whole life mantra. It's just do it. A couple negative traits are, I am, and I don't even really want to say it's a negative. It is just a adjective or a description of the way you are, and whoever it comes in handy sometimes, and sometimes it does not. Sometimes it works against you, and you just have to learn how to work with it. So for me, I'm an empath. Yes, y'all know what time it is. We YouTube with babies, okay? But I'm an empath, and while others may see that as a negative thing, which I used to see it as a negative thing, but it also is a positive thing. And rediscovering myself, I'm learning that, okay, I'm an empath. That means that, yes, sometimes I am easily taken advantage of. Sometimes I am easily manipulated. But that also means I see the best in people. That also means that I have the ability to help other people and understand what other people are going through, even if they come from different walks of life. That is a gift that God has given me, and I appreciate that. So I'm deciding to use certain things like that. I also discovered that I did not have emotional regulation. And I discovered that because in my marriage, I was learning, like, wow, even though, yes, this is not okay, it's okay to understand that something is not okay, but not react out of your feelings. You can sit in your anger, and that's something I learned from therapy. You can sit in your anger. You can sit in your sadness. I remember my therapist saying that, I felt like I was bottling everything up, and I'm telling her, like, it just feels like so much emotion is here. And she was like, that's because you're not used to sitting in your emotions. You're used to reacting. You're used to just impulsively reacting off the first emotion that you feel and not thinking things through. So that's something else that yes, I'm emotional, but I needed to learn how to regulate my emotions. I needed to learn how to sit in my feelings. And right now, I'm still in the process of learning how to process my feelings. But honestly, I've done so much better over the years, and I'm so proud of that. And that is who I am now. So I'm asking you, you know, who are you and how do you define yourself? I'm extremely adventurous. So are you adventurous? And it's funny because I was adventurous before a child, but in college, I didn't know that I was adventurous. Like, it was like in college, I didn't know I was adventurous. But then when I graduated college and I decided to book a random vacation, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, let's go snorkeling. I don't know how to swim. As long as I got a life jacket, I'm good. You know, a lot of people would have been scared about that, but I was just like, let's do it. I'm fearless, and it's amazing. I love these qualities about myself, and I'm learning to embrace the good qualities. I'm learning how to embrace the bad qualities. I am learning to decide if I want to keep certain qualities in my, you know, as a part of my identity. And the best thing about discovering and learning who you are and creating who you want to be is the fact that you have a decision whether you want to keep certain qualities or whether you want to not have those certain qualities. You have a decision to make. I love the fact that I'm an empath because going into my career field as a perinatal therapist, I'm going to be able to understand people in all different walks of life, which is an amazing thing. However, a negative thing of that is I need to learn how to not take that home. I also love the fact that I'm extremely outgoing. I know I have a big personality, and I think that over the last few years, as I was discovering that I had a big personality, I kind of felt like, okay, let me quiet it down. Let me calm myself down. Let me, you know, not necessarily talk as much. Let me, you know, just scope out the room. And the thing is, that's not my personality. I'm extremely outgoing. I'm talkative. And I had to create a life and a group, a surrounding of people who accepted me for who I am. Because I am outgoing. I have a huge personality. Don't get me wrong. I do scope out the room before, you know, you get everything. But honestly, you might get everything in the first time that you meet me. And that's just what it is. And I am no longer ashamed to, you know, show my outgoing personality. I am no longer ashamed of being myself around other people, because if other people mesh, they mesh. If other people don't, they're not a part of your journey, and that's okay. And I think that was another thing that I learned in discovering myself, is that everybody is not going to like you and that is okay. And when I say a part of my journey, it's a part of my healing journey, because I also learned that I was a people pleaser. And while I still have certain people pleasing tendencies, that is not me anymore. And I think that with learning how to set boundaries, learning that I am not responsible for somebody else's feelings, they choose that feeling that they decide to sit in. They choose that feeling that they decide to have. And honestly, the feeling might not really be a reflection of what you said, what you did. It might not be a reflection of how you went above and beyond. It might be a reflection of whatever experiences they have. So I am learning, like, people pleasing is not a part of who I want to be anymore. Setting boundaries is, you know, and while people pleasing isn't a part of who I want to be, I'm deciding that it's okay to be generous. I'm extremely generous. I'm extremely thoughtful. And those are qualities that with the right group of people and the right surroundings, those are appreciated. Those qualities are not taken advantage of. So I don't feel like such a people pleaser. I'm trying to think of any. So when I talk about being impulsive, one of the things that comes in handy is a good and get me in a lot of trouble, y'all, is I jump into stuff head first. When I have an idea, had to check on homegirl. When I have an idea, which I have a lot of them, when I have something that I want to do, I literally jump in head first. And sometimes life calls for you to jump head first. Sometimes you have to literally sit and think before you get yourself into a situation. You have to sit and think about, a business idea, for example, and fester on it and let God continue to flow, push those thoughts through your body, push those, meditate on it, constantly brainstorm what direction do I want to go. And I'll give you a perfect example. When I started my business, I Am Sarah is an organization that caters to women who went through pregnancy loss, miscarriage, and any type of pregnancy loss, basically, even if it's infant loss as well. But, I think that, and it's okay for a business idea to change. But I jumped into it so fast because I had this burning desire to help women go through things that I went through. But now, as I had a chance to really sit down, and God forced me because I couldn't manage 2 babies or being pregnant, having a toddler, grad school, I couldn't manage everything and do my business. So it gave me a lot of opportunity to really think about what I wanted it to be. And I feel like if I would have thought as much now back then I wouldn't be having to go 2 steps back and reform my business into a nonprofit and reform, the name of my business. I named it I Am Sarah, and now it's I Am Sarah Maternal Mental Health Care. And I know that may be small, but if you know anything about starting a business, getting a name, getting, a website domain, social media, it's like if I would have just kind of set on those thoughts and let that idea and business idea fester a little bit, I don't think that I would be here. So that's a good thing. It's a bad thing, but it's also a good thing when it comes to my virtual assistant business that I started, because I was like, hey, I got these skills. I'm unemployed at this point. Let's just do it. And now that business has been bringing in extra money, thank God. It's not too demanding, but it's what I make it. And I've been able to get a lot of great skills from being a business owner with being a virtual assistant. And that's something that came in handy because it provided me extra income to take care of my kids when I was unemployed. And now that I have a 9-to-5 again, it's extra income. And it was just I'm glad that I didn't sit on that idea for too long. I probably decided I wanted to be a virtual assistant 2 weeks before I started actually putting the name together, getting the social media, putting the website, prices, packaging. I did it and landed 3 clients within the first month. I landed 1 client within the first 2 weeks, 2 clients. I landed my long-term client. So I would say actually 3 clients over the 3 months, but really 2 clients within the first month. So it's just that trait that I accepted and decided hey, this is just a part of who I am, came in handy. And at this point I just need to learn how to use discernment and knowing when should I jump in head first or when should I sit down and think about things. And that's just a part of healing and really learning, that it's okay to be impulsive. It's okay to just jump into stuff, but sometimes you have to do things for your mental health and for the well-being of what God is calling. So Fruitful Mind, for example, is something that is huge, and I cannot jump into it. As much as I want to, I can't. And that's just a part of accepting okay, yes, Taya, you're impulsive, but you also have to learn to be patient, which goes to my least favorite quality, y'all. I am so impatient. It don't even make no sense how impatient I am. I'm impatient, and another thing is I am extremely hard on myself. I am my worst critic. That might be a saying, but I am literally my worst critic. So going to being hard on myself, me being hard on myself kind of translates into me being hard on other people. And it also has, it really gives lack of grace for myself. So I think this has a lot to do with my upbringing, but it could just have a lot to do with me, me being a perfectionist, me And I'm not saying how my mom raised me and my dad, but it's more so like the experiences that I had throughout life. These type of things have contributed to me being extremely hard on myself, me wanting to get it right, me being upset that if it's not right, then I have to face the consequences of it not being right. And it's just a lot of things that those are certain things that I'm saying I really don't want to take up. Like, I don't want to bring those qualities to the new version of me that I'm trying to create and trying to live in. I see her. And when I say her, that's the person I'm becoming. I see her. I know what she does. I know how she acts. I know how she reacts. I know who's in her circle. I know that she praises God first and foremost for everything she has. I know who she is. And I think that when you become a better version of yourself, that's what I'm constantly working toward. I'm constantly working toward. I'm constantly working toward becoming a better version of myself and becoming her. And I'm just wondering, like, who are you? You know, you can do these things, or you can discover who you are by writing things down about yourself and saying, you know, is this a part of who I am because this is just who I am? Or is this a part of who I am because somebody told me that this was me? Is this a part of me because somebody told me from the 5th grade that I wasn't smart enough and I'm too much, or I'm too loud? Or can I embrace this quality? Yeah, I'm too loud and I love that. It's not too loud, I'm just me. So I'm just wondering, like, who you are. I'm going to write down who I am, and I'll show you guys later, probably on my Instagram or another video. But, you know, I just described so many qualities that, you know, are good and maybe not work in my favor, and try not to say good or bad, because, you know, it is a gray area. Like I said, a lot of things may work. Again, mom stuff. A lot of things may work in your favor. A lot of things. She want a nurse. So it's almost time for me to go. But a lot of things may work in your favor. A lot of things may work against you. But I think that, you know, you have the decision to create, rediscover, redefine. Oh, come here. Redefine who you are, or embrace who you are and say, F y'all, this is who I am, and it is what it is. See you guys.